What's happening, everybody? My name is Anthony Walker. Welcome to this very, very special video. Now, thank you so much for tuning in. This is my it's actually my third Undertaker video that I've done this week for the Wrestling Matters channel. Apologies for being a little bit late because I was busy doing something, but I'm here. I'm here for this video. It's my third one, and it's all about the best matches of the Deadman, my favorite matches of the Deadman, and what he has meant to me. Just turn my volume up here a little bit. Get the thing here, and there we go. Now, my favorite matches. Excuse me, apologies for that. My favorite matches of The Undertaker. Where do I begin with this? There was, like I mentioned last episode, the last video, the one where he won the first championship, the first title for the first WWE title for the first time. That was that one, definitely. Where he beat Hulk Hogan at Survivor Series in 1991. There was, I would say, most of the favorite matches came from the streak. Not necessarily saying all of them were great, but like I say, I mean, I would have to pick probably the Shawn Michaels 25th anniversary WrestleMania match that he had. That was just outstanding. I really liked the WrestleMania 17 match he had with Triple H when he was the American Badass. I thought that was really, really good. Very underrated match, in my opinion. I think my favorite one out the streak, and that's taken nothing away from the Shawn Michaels match. I think the favorite one out the streak was the the CM Punk one. In terms of wrestling, I thought that was really, really, really good. I think that was one that ranks highly up there. There was the Hell in a Cell match, the bloodbath at 1997's very first Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood with him and Shawn Michaels, which Shawn Michaels won by the skin of his teeth, thanks to Kane, because that was the night Kane made his debut. My favorite Undertaker Hell in a Cell match, probably my favorite Hell in a Cell match ever in WWE, was the Brock Lesnar one in No Mercy, 2002, where he won. It was him and Brock for the WWE title, and it was just a bloodbath, basically, just like the one at the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view this past gone, the Undertaker Brock Lesnar match. That was just a barn burner. It was just brutal. The one in 2002 was brutal as well, because they bled. Well, I don't know if they bled buckets, but Undertaker bled buckets in that match. I don't know if Brock did. He did bleed, but I don't know if he bled as much as the Undertaker did. I swear he lost a pint of blood in that match. There was matches he had with the Ultimate. He's had matches with the Ultimate Warrior as well. Not very good ones. I mean, there was a body bag match that he had, which was on the showcase of the last WWE 2K game. It was on the showcase, the body bag match, which was a very good match, in my opinion. It was okay, but wasn't his best. The best matches, though, I think mostly come from Shawn Michaels. I think he's had great matches. I mean, there was one at No Way Out 2006, if I remember correctly, against Kurt Angle, which should have been at WrestleMania. If you listen to the podcast, I mentioned it on my podcast. They wanted to put that for WrestleMania, Undertaker versus Kurt Angle at WrestleMania for the World Championship, but Kurt Angle would not beat the streak out of respect for the Undertaker. So they put it at No Way Out, which worked anyway, because if I remember correctly, that was the only thing that saved the pay-per-view. And they had the match, and then they had it again at SmackDown, which was just epic as well. But it was a really, really, really good match at the No Way Out pay-per-view, which led into Rey Mysterio eventually winning the World Championship at WrestleMania. And Undertaker versus Mark Henry in that match as well, at WrestleMania as well, in a casket match. The Hell in a Cell match with Triple H at WrestleMania as well, the end of an era match. I still watch that match this very day. It was just amazing. The Undertaker, there was matches, when Sid Justice, I mentioned in the last video, where he won the WWE title at WrestleMania 13. His matches with Kane as well. There was the Buried Alive match he had with Mankind, and his feud with Mankind in general, which led to the infamous throwing off the cell in '98's King of the Ring, which has to go down on one of the most top 10, at least top 10 epic moments in WWE's history. Good God. It still scares me to this very day. I mean, the first one he took a bump, but when he chokeslammed him through the cell, that wasn't meant to happen. So, I mean, he basically could have killed him in that match. Basically just could have killed him in that match. What else is there? The matches he had with Stone Cold as well. Highway to Hell, '98. I thought that was a really good match, but the reason why people didn't like that match in a way, because it was a babyface versus babyface, and they didn't get it, to be honest. At least that's what I thought. I mean, I wouldn't say people piss on that match or crap on that match, but it didn't come out as many people would hoped. Match he had with Randy Orton as well at WrestleMania 21, which I thought was really good. Lots more matches as well. The stuff he did with Kane, BOD. The tag team titles when they were tag team champions, and they had that feud with the two-man power trip. And the Alliance as well, when they won the tag titles, the WCW tag team championships, as well as the WWE tag team titles as well with the power trip and that. If only Stone Cold Triple H never got injured, man, they would have had a great feud with the power trip, and they did. On again, off again stuff with the power trip back then. The match he had with, he had some weird feuds as well. I mean, there was a feud he had with Booker T, which led into a match he had with him at Judgment Day. Just a weird storylines he's been involved in. Going back to his '98 stuff as well with the Ministry, where he captured Stephanie McMahon. He kidnapped Stephanie McMahon. Where to, Stephanie? I'll never forget that lad. 1999 Backlash, where he kidnapped Stephanie after the match, after the Stone Cold Rock match, and he puts that line in. Oh my God. Good grief. And there was the Ministry stuff as well, where he kidnapped Mabel at 1999's Royal Rumble to have him join the Ministry, which was probably the most strangest thing in the world. And he's had some good matches as well at Royal Rumble as well. Not many of them I remember that well. I mean, the casket match that I mentioned in the last video as well, with that ending where he came out of the Titantron. He was in the casket. He was talking on the Titantron. They showed him inside the casket on the Titantron, and then he rises above the Titantron as well. And then he had that mirror match at SummerSlam 1994, which was probably the most strangest match in WWE's history, but a good match nonetheless. It was a very unique match. And in terms of that as well, it was there was some beef that came out with that as well, involving him and Primetime Brian Lee, who later on played Chains in DOA. He was the fake Undertaker, and there was some very, very awkward moments between the two. They really didn't get along. Kevin Nash at WrestleMania 12. which was part of the main event. And if you watch a shoot interview with Kevin Nash, there was him shooting on the Undertaker as well with Bret Hart. Apparently, Bret had an ego problem during that period of time, which caused Kevin to leave for WCW. Various other matches as well. I mean, the matches he had with Bret at the once a year matches at the WrestleMania as well. I mean, when he lost the streak to Brock Lesnar and then came back a year later and beat Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, that was a crazy match. And no matter what, the Undertaker can have a match with anybody and he'd still look good. But the thing is, as long as he keeps himself, he has that pressure on him now to keep himself in good condition now, because he's coming back once a year. Although this year he has been back. He's been back on again, off again, and the 25th anniversary of Survivor Series that he's got, and the tag match that him and Kane have got with the Wyatt family. I still don't understand why they don't put that as a Survivor Series. I think it'll be much better as a Survivor Series match. Tune in tomorrow for my predictions on Survivor Series this coming Sunday as well. It's just I mean, where could you go with the Undertaker? I don't think he's done a bad thing wrong. There was a match he had as well, which he helped Ric Flair out as well, WrestleMania 18 with him and Flair, which I thought was very good. Very good for where it turned out, and it helped Flair a great deal as well, and he's been very vocal about that, Nature Boy Ric Flair. But where do you go with The Undertaker? I mean, that's just a list with me. I mean, he's been in the business now, as the character's been in the business now for 25 years, Survivor Series. I mean, he's done it all. I mean, that's why he's the greatest character of all time. I mean, he's done some awesome stuff, and he's still going to this very day. I mean, what would be perfect for me was to have him have one more run with the WWE World title. I know that's not going to happen, but that would be just perfect. Just one more run with the WWE World Championship. If they can give it to Brock Lesnar, give it to him. No. I mean, that's what they probably should have done at Survivor Series. Not Survivor Series. SummerSlam with him and Lesnar. Have Lesnar win the championship at Battleground and then go into that match at SummerSlam and have them two fight it and give The Undertaker the championship. But it didn't come to that, unfortunately. I mean, there was the title wins, if I remember correctly, as well. I mean, he beat Hogan twice for the championship. He beat Stone Cold as well. I think that's about it, really, if I remember correctly. I can't remember who else he beat for the championship. Oh, yeah, Batista and Edge. There you go. Batista and Edge. And that's 5 times he's had the world title, to my knowledge. I might be wrong on that. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But those are the 5 matches he had, the 5 people he beat. He beat Hogan twice. He beat Hogan at Judgment Day after Hogan beat Triple H at Backlash in, I believe it was 2002. He beat Hogan in 91. He beat Stone Cold in 99 for the championship. Very controversially, I might add. And he beat Batista at WrestleMania. He beat Edge at WrestleMania as well. And actually, as well, that's Sid. WrestleMania 13 match he had with Sid as well. He won that championship as well. Forgot about that. So that's 6 world championships to my knowledge as well. Beat Hogan twice, Stone Cold, Batista, Edge, Sid. So I might be, like I said, there might be more on that. If there isn't, if there is, I apologize. But that's the memories I have with him winning world championships. And he's been a tag team champion as well with Kane. And also as well, we can't forget the hardcore title run he had. We just destroyed the hardcore division, basically. I mean, it was a match he had with Rob Van Dam, who he beat at Vengeance in 2001, I think it was. The month after the Survivor Series Alliance pay-per-view. And he chokeslams Rob Van Dam off the stage and wins the title. And he just went on a run with it, basically, a terror, and then eventually he loses it to Maven. Which was the stupidest thing to do. I mean, he has a tear, and then you have him drop it to Maven. But yeah, I mean, he tore up the hardcore division back then, man. I mean, some great moments, some funny moments. His weird match with Vince McMahon as well at Survivor Series in 2003, which led to him coming back as the Dark Side Undertaker when he got buried alive. But that match was pretty personal. If you watch the match as well, especially when he's on the outside. This is for my wife, because apparently him and McMahon had a beef with him over his wife and everything. And yeah, I mean, where do you go with The Undertaker? I mean, like I said in the previous videos, he's the greatest character in the history of WWE. There was nobody like him. Nobody will top him. And these 25 years that he's been doing The Undertaker, Mark Holloway, he's been an absolute pleasure to watch. And it's been amazing that he's kept this, he's reinvented himself and he's kept this character going for this long, man. I mean, that's what makes him a legend. And the perfect way the perfect way for him now is to go into the Hall of Fame. He needs to go into the Hall of Fame next year at WrestleMania. WrestleMania's in Dallas, Texas next year. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame. We need to just put him in right now and get it over with. What they've got planned for him at WrestleMania, I don't know. But I'll have to wait and see next year. But he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. He needs to be in there now. And if you're going to do it next year at WrestleMania and get it over with. Because if you don't put him in there, you'll never will. Undertaker deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Quite a few other people deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. But if there's anyone who deserves it more than The Undertaker, I mean, show me them and tell me who it is. But Undertaker needs to be in the Hall of Fame. And he needs to be in there next year at WrestleMania 32. And with that being said, guys, what has been your favorite moments? Drop them in the comments below. Subscribe here at the Wrestling Matters channel if you're new around here for weekly podcast, weekly wrestling content, just weekly wrestling related content here on the Games Matter channel and weekly podcast as well. Tune in tomorrow for my Survivor Series predictions for this Sunday's Survivor Series. My name is Anthony Walker. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Be vocal, because that's what I want this channel to be, a channel for wrestling fans to have their say, good, bad, ugly, whatever. But that's what I want this channel to be. Also, theheadanthonywalker.net. That's my website. Check it out, guys. Theheadanthonywalker.net. I've got a few other tweaks to do as well, but be sure to check it out as well. I'm going to get that promoted. I'm going to get it out there to the masses. So be sure to check that out. Look out for it. And until next time, my name is Anthony Walker saying peace out.